really exciting for me, gentlemen, I have to tell you, because I first saw you play in 1991 in a small hall in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Crocs and Rolls, and I think downtown Thunder Bay is still vibrating from that show. Everything's still shaking because one of the loudest bands on the planet. It was a long time ago, the Hugo Boss days, Gordie. Remember those?
I'm all grown up now.
Well, welcome to the 630 Chet Studio. It's an honor to have you here today.
Nice to be.
So you're here. You're playing at the Rainmaker Rodeo tonight.
Tonight, that's right.
And this is part of a bit of a tour that you've been doing for the last little bit?
You know, once the weather gets nice in Canada, there's a lot of just fly-outs for us. So it's not like a continuous tour. We, you know, it'll just be a checkerboard, man. We'll be all over the country, flying to wherever they want us.
There's a new album out. There's
a
new album.
Promoting our new record. We have a new record called Yard Style, which is very different for our listeners. Not different for us because, I mean, we'll even demonstrate a little bit for you here in the studio. When we get together and play to rehearse, or just in the dressing room, or like you saw in your conference room earlier, we just pick up some hand drums and, you know, I'll tote a banjo and a harmonica, whatever, and we just sort of play in a more folkloric kind of style when we just play for ourselves. Now, of course, when we add electricity and bring that to the people, that's what we're known for. So we thought it would be interesting to share with our fans and any other, you know, newcomers our more acoustical, intimate side.
Well, the band, every time you read about Big Sugar, it says reggae rock band, reggae rock band. But I think for a long time, for us, for me, for example, who first fell in love with Big Sugar back in 1991, for a lot of us, we thought it as a blues rock band.
But it evolved over time, too. You know, different... I'm the only person in the room of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us that was at that gig in Thunder Bay. You know, different people have come in and out of the band, and with that, our band culture has changed too, you know, because for us music is a cultural expression. It's not a strictly economic endeavor, you know what I mean? I have never been concerned with what the latest trend is or what's popular, or we got to get this, whoever the hottest producer is, hey, we need the guy from the Black Keys to produce a new Big Sugar record. Like, that guy don't get our music, and it's not about that. We're not chasing trends. It's part of our cultural expression. So with the people who've come in and out of the band over the years, everyone's left their fingerprints on it, you know. And so it has evolved to be what it is now.
Yard Style, when I was listening to it last night, reminded me of a very humid, hot day in Jamaica with a red stripe on my hand floating down a river.
That's what we're missing right now.
Yeah, the red stripe.
It's radio. I guess you could imagine us having all those nice things.
But was that kind of what you were going for? Is that just... Do you even go for anything, or is that just the way it turns out, right?
we weren't really going for anything yet, precisely. That's just that's what you get with us. That's the way it comes out naturally.
Now you said that though this is kind of what it sounds like when you guys just get together and jam.
Yeah.
So you'll go do your show and play a lot of the tunes in the sound that a lot of us have come to expect, with a different flair though at times. But this is what you go back to at the end of the day?
Yeah, whenever you catch us on a tour bus, if it's like a rehearsal for, oh, here's a song we haven't done in a while, do you want to do it tonight? Yeah, we'll just grab a banjo and a harmonica and just sort of, you know, chit-chat through it. We'd like to be able to sing without microphones and play without amps and monitors and all that stuff. Once in a while, it's just it rehumanizes you, you know what I mean? Electricity is wonderful, and, you know, tonight at the rodeo, we'll be kicking with full electricity as well, you know, because people still, you know, they want their rock and roll from Big Sugar, so we didn't forget that either. But we'll give people a little taste of the Yard Style tonight, too.
Awesome. You know what? Before we continue on with this, let's hear a little bit of it.
Oh,
do you mind? Can we play it already? Do you mind?
Yeah.
Because I've been waiting since
right.
I found out about this
And
to hear this.
is?
My request was, let's do the Yard Style version of Turn the Lights On.
All right, you got it.
yeah.
Yes. My own private little concert in here. I am in my glory, you guys. Thank you. Sounds fantastic. Gordie, you have deep roots in Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up in Medicine Hat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Briefly. Well, as much as I did grow up.
Where's home now?
Dripping Springs, Texas.
Dripping Springs, Texas. My first television voice coach lives in that same spot, I believe.
Well.
I do believe he still lives there.
Small world.
I think Edmonton, Alberta still, though, has a pretty strong connection to you, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You played the before the band broke up in 2003, you played your last gig
Our last gig
at
was
the
in
Shaw.
Edmonton, that's true, yeah. Edmonton's always been a real stronghold for us. We've loved playing here from the very first time we played here. People have just, it was one of the first places where we came to play, where we had a sold out show,
Yeah.
where people knew the songs from the records and were ready for anything we'd give them. So we always made Edmonton a destination.
The sport has always been here for the band.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. You've been spending some time down in Willie Nelson's studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do a lot of work out of there. For the last 10 years, I've been working out of Willie's place. When I first went to Texas, one of the first places I went to work as a producer, mix engineer, and things like that. So, which I do a lot of that through the course of a year. I'll do half a dozen records a year at least.
Well, I was going to say,
for other people.
you know, not only, you know, frontman for this band, but you're well-known producer, all sorts of bands, the Respectables, who I loved.
Yeah.
Your Taj Mahal, that's you.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, love it, love it. What are you working on right now outside of this?
Oh dear. Yeah, I've been working on a lot of my own projects of late. I've got a band down in Texas called Grady that toured Canada quite a bit as well, and we kind of had a bit of a time off, but we started playing together again and doing shows in Texas anyway. So at some point we'd like to come back to Canada and play for folks again. I have another group called Sit Down Servant, which is an all instrumental thing where I play steel guitar, and it's a jazzier sort of a thing. And we're going on tour with Joe Satriani next month for like 3 weeks in Europe. And Big Sugar's been to Europe twice in as many months, and we're fixing to go back. Yeah, we're fixing to go back again before the end of the year, so it's kind of busy.
What's the response like to the band in Europe?
It was really nice. We haven't been there in years, like 15, 18 years since we were there. And we went because they requested us. They asked for us on a TV program there, and at a couple of festivals wanted us. And once we got there, there's a very, very popular band over there that cited Big Sugar as one of their early influences. Like, they started their band because they heard one of our records and heard us play live, and so they took us on some shows to play with them. So that the whole thing just was unexpectedly jolly, you know. We loved everywhere we went. Like, wow, nice gigs and nice response, because you never know. You go a long way from home. You never always know how it's going to be accepted or not.
I'm curious, from the time from 2003 when the band split up to 2010 when they got back together, the reasons for getting back together.
Really just because this musically, I think we just found ourselves all at the same place again. Whereas, you know, when the band finished the first time through, there was never a plan, hey, call you in 7 years, we'll get this back together again. There was no financial reasons for it to split up or get back together. There was no legal reasons involved. There was no negotiating involved. It had just run its course. We felt like we'd said everything, and we were kind of done, so we stopped.
At 7 years, that's a big spread.
Pretty good break.
Okay.
But then there was sort of a renewed interest in Big Sugar, because I had forgotten about it. I wasn't living in Canada anymore. I wasn't thinking about it as being, I thought it was something in the past. But I got to give credit to another great Canadian band called the Trues, that just sort of woke me out of my dormancy. And they're like, come on, man, don't you ever want to play those songs anymore? I'm like, well, yeah, I guess so, if people remember them. And they're like, no, people remember them. And they were trying to talk me into it for a while, and then they got me on stage to play with them at the Calgary Stampede several years ago. And I was just there because I was in Alberta. I was at the farm hanging out, and I went to the Stampede, and there were the Trews. So I went, saw them play. They got me on stage and proceeded to go into like a 6-song medley of Big Sugar songs. I thought I was going to get them played, not ready to go, you know. Instead, I didn't know they knew all the Big Sugar material. So I ended up doing a couple of gigs with the Trews, doing Big Sugar material. I thought, come on, that was kind of made me a little emotional, honestly, you know. So I called everybody up and I was like, hey man, you know, people really like this music. Did you think we'd get back in a tour bus and do it again? And the immediate response from everybody was yeah.
Was it really yes? You're all like,
what? You're not taking my word for it.
I mean, yeah. No.
I mean, yeah.
Was there no arm twisting? It was all
No, actually, no, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think it really was as simple as Gordie saying, hey man, I'm thinking about doing this thing, you want to do it? It was like, yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay,
All right,
here we
fine.
go.
Yeah.
But only if we're going to do a new record, and if
Yeah,
we're going to do
exactly.
like make it a living, breathing thing. There was never any, hey, do you want to go play some greatest hits and make a good paycheck, and we'll just go do that for 2 years? Because I know there's a lot of that goes on. Bands that broke up in the '90s or whatever, and then they get back together because there's suddenly a good paycheck in it. Like, yeah, no, we'll do this whether there's a paycheck or not. We're only going to do it because we're going to do it, and whatever. If the money follows it, great. But that's not the only reason to ever do this.
The boys from Big Sugar in studio with me this afternoon at 6:30 CHED. They're playing the Rainmaker Rodeo this weekend, tonight, actually, right?
Yeah, that is such a Canadian thing. It's we're not boys. It's not a hockey team. You know? That is such a. It's almost like
from
the
Big
men
Sugar.
of Big Sugar.
The men
It's
of Big
almost
Sugar
like
here.
it's like a maritime kind of thing. It's like, all right, boys. It's like we're not on a ship. Everyone pull up the nets. No. Heave ho, pull up, bring in the nets. We're bringing in the cod.
Big Sugar is in studio with me this afternoon.
Big Sugar is
Maybe
schooling
not for
you in the
much
studio.
longer. I'm curious to know, has Big Sugar done what you had hoped it would do when you started in 1991? As far as success
wow.
and touch, you know, did you do what you set out to do?
We set out to make music, and I'm proud to say that's all we've ever done. Is just make beautiful music. If we're feeling it, then that's success enough. I didn't really.
Was there the pressures there to be more, to be
there
bigger,
was.
to do all the rest?
There used to be those pressures. I mean, I can imagine about the year 2001, the music industry went a huge convulsion with the digital age, you know, and corporate mergers and a lot of really nervous people everywhere you went. And that was so unsavory. That also had a little, to be honest, it had a little bit to do with our splitting in the first place, because we just got sick of it. It's like no one was ever talking about music. Would you like it? Is the song good? Is it a good record? Or is it only good if it fits in this box of 3 minutes long and it has to sound a certain way and generate X number of dollars, or we're not doing it. I'm like, well, come on, if that's what y'all are talking about, I don't really need any part of it.
What are your thoughts on the music scene in Canada right now?
I have no idea. my music scene is within these 4 walls right here.
You don't pay attention to it. You don't worry about it. No.
I couldn't name you 4 bands off the top of my head.
Really?
I mean, aside from the people we know and love, like I said, the Trews and some other bands out there, the Balconies, and there are lots of good new bands. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not putting a diss on any of it. I think it seems to me to be very vibrant, healthy music scene. Just I find as a producer, I see a lot of Canadian bands coming down south to play for us in Texas and coming to work with me in the studio down there. So I mean, I know there's some, you know, there's blood in that's circulating in the veins of Canadian music scene. But we don't consider where we fit in within those boundaries. I don't know. That's just not what we deal with.
Not your style, not your thing.
That's not what we deal with. Yeah.
You pay attention to what you're doing, and that's about it.
Pretty much.
So, what is next for you guys? For Big Sugar.
For the Big Sugars, the men of Big Sugar. What's next? Well, more of this yard style business. You know, I think in the fall and into the winter, we're looking at going and doing a tour of theaters and doing nice acoustic, plushy venues where we can do the beautiful music, you know, and bring that to people. Now, we'll never stop doing electric rock and roll. We'll always be doing that, but it would be nice to just go and do something special and do that for people. So we'll probably do that later in the year, after we've gone back to Europe and done some more shows in the fall.
I had a couple of people ask me, they said, you have to make sure you ask Gordie about his hand. How's your hand? What's going on with your hand?
Well,
Look at it.
Yeah.
which one? I got two.
You're having problems
One's
with
pretty
one
good,
of them.
right? I have a hand and a half. Yeah, you know what? I got that guitar player malady, the carpal tunnel syndrome, and I had surgery for it, which worked out really, I guess, as well as can be expected. In truth, it's not. I don't remember what it was like before because now it's been a while, but it's not exactly the same. But you know, I just can't get beaten down by something like that because it's just something natural. You know, it's a physical thing. I've been playing since I was a kid. I'm playing professionally since I was like 14 years old. You know, so yeah, that's a lot of playing, and of course, you know, with repetitive stress-related injury, you know, there's just going to be things like that in your life. That's not going to stop me. I mean, as a result, I learned to play steel guitar because that didn't stress out my hand. And while I was convalescing, I could put the steel bar down on the strings and play. So I learned to play a new instrument out of the deal. And now my electric guitar playing is getting better because I'm strengthening my hand because I'm playing music, you know. So it's just a continuum. It'll be fun.
Before I get you to play one more song and I let you go, because I think you have sound check to go to or you're coming from, 10 years from now? Big Sugar?
You just request the songs, we'll come and play them.
You come through my studio one more time, okay? All right, so this is my request. I want you now.
You got it. 2, 3, 4. This feeling grips me without warning.
I Want You Now, that's Big Sugar. That's their version from Yard Style, the new album from Big Sugar. It went to, as soon as it was released, it went to
Day of
number
release,
one.
number one.
On the
Yeah.
iTunes Canada Reggae chart.
Yeah.
Congratulations. If you want to see them, you can see them tonight. It's the Rainmaker Rodeo as well. They're coming back to town, Athabasca, I think next month. I looked at your schedule. You don't know where you go next
me.
month. Thank you for being
Thank
with
you.
us today.
You're welcome.
It's been, this ranks right up there for me, I gotta tell you. Private concert with Big Sugar. Thank you guys.